As the temperature changes, so should your fragrances. These are my top 10 winter fragrances. Let's go. If you are familiar with my channel, when I do a seasonal top 10 list, I split it up into designer niche. More affordable versus more expensive.
Oh, hell no!
Although every fragrance on this list isn't technically designer, they're all priced in that category. All these fragrances perform very well in the cold weather, they penetrate that frigid cold air, and they work really, really well. Number 10, Midnight in Paris from Van Cleef & Arpels. This is a really interesting powdery leather fragrance. When a fragrance is described as powdery, it smells less like a liquid and more like baby powder or talcum powder. It has a dry yet semi-sweet quality that you would find in a lot of powders out there. Midnight in Paris comes in an EDT and an EDP concentration, and at one time it was a cheapie. You could buy this for $30, $40. Unfortunately now it's been discontinued and it has skyrocketed in price. So it is next to impossible to find at a cheap price. But if you do have it, or you can get it fairly cheaply, for winter nights, this is such an awesome fragrance. Not necessarily for everyone, perhaps a little bit feminine leaning sometimes, but I'm still putting it on the list anyway. Number 10, Midnight in Paris. My number 9 winter fragrance is Fahrenheit Parfum. The original Fahrenheit is mainly known for its violet leaf accord, which gives it a similar smell to gasoline. With a parfum concentration, you may think, okay, now it really smells like gasoline. And you're partially right, but not at all right, because what they add here is some bourbon. There's a sweet vanilla boozy quality to this. It also is a little more leathery. It even starts with a bright mandarin orange. Fahrenheit Parfum is such an awesome fragrance because it has elements of the original, but it adds a lot more depth throughout its lifespan. It has a very clear opening, middle, and dry down that lasts 12 to 14 hours. You can't knock Dior for their performance on their eau de parfum concentrations because they're stellar. It is number 9 just because it is a fairly dramatic fragrance with its booziness, leather, and its gasoline action. There's a lot of heavy notes going on, so if you want something a little more light and simplistic, this isn't it. Number 9, Fahrenheit Parfum. My number 8 winter fragrance is Noir Extreme from Tom Ford. I've reviewed this fragrance. I really like this fragrance. It is spicy, sweet, a bit of cardamom in there, some cinnamon, extremely hard to dislike, especially in the air around you. The scent cloud that this produces is delicious. I would classify it as a gourmand fragrance because it is based off of an actual dessert, yet it still maintains a spicy perfume quality. So you won't literally smell like a dessert, but you'll smell yummy, which is an important distinction to make. I will put it at number 8 because of the projection. It doesn't project a heavy amount, so it's something that you would maybe want to wear indoors in the winter. Outdoors, it won't perform as well as you might think it would. Number 8, Noir Extreme. My number 7 winter fragrance is Gucci Pour Homme 1. Gucci Pour Homme is really about a heavy dose of cedarwood. A beautifully composed, strong, woody fragrance for men. This isn't one of those Pour Hommes that's for the more metrosexual homme. This is masculine. Gucci Pour Homme 1 has one of those cedar notes that almost gives it a graphite style of smell. It smells like pencil shavings. Performance is exceptional on this as well. It will kick the crap out of the winter cold air. But it's number 7 because guess what? Discontinued. Buzzkill. Number 7, Gucci Pour Homme 1. Promise I have no more discontinued fragrances to show you. Number 6 is 24 Gold by Scent Story. Not technically a designer house, but it's designer priced. 24 Gold is an affordable fragrance that performs like a much more expensive fragrance. I sometimes think that the name comes from its longevity, because this lasts all day on me. It's most often described for its use of oud, but I feel the oud in this is very light. On my skin, it's mainly an amber fragrance. It has a lot of sweet amber, some spicy cinnamon qualities to it as well, and an earthy, slightly damp, woody quality to it. This guy is a superstar in the winter. I'm putting it at number 6 because this is one of those fragrances that can be oversprayed pretty easily. Just like Musk Ravageur by Frederic Malle. 1 or 2 sprays more than you need and you ruin it. It gets really, really obnoxious. But spray lightly and you will have a blasty blast of a time wearing this. Number 6, 24 Gold. At my number 5 slot on my winter fragrances is the basic bro, Versace Arrows. Say what you want, this fragrance works. It works really well, especially in the cold weather. Cool freshness to keep yourself cool as a cucumber, but the tonka bean gives you that sweetness. It is a compliment monster of a fragrance, no matter what formulation you have. It's built itself a reputation in the frag-com, but also the real world too. I'll ask a lot of girls what their favorite men's fragrance is, and a lot of them will say,
that Versace one with the kind of a green bottle.
Talking about this. I'm putting it at number 5 because my top 4 are bangers. And that was Versace Arrows. My number 4 winter fragrance on this list is Armani Code Profumo. Growing up, Armani Code was my signature formal fragrance. I wore it when I wanted to be a little more prestigious, and that's why I do have an attachment to the Armani Code line. Armani Code Profumo, thank goodness, improved the performance drastically and added a lot of tonka bean and a little more leather when compared to the original. And in the cold weather, it is another compliment monster. Armani Code got a lot of compliments too, but now that you can actually smell it, and you have tonka bean, which is like easy mode, compliment getting ingredient, it's a recipe for success. But it just misses the top 3 because you'll see. At number 4, Armani Code Profumo. My number 3 winter fragrance is La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. Now this wouldn't have made the list if it was my current formulation, but this is a vintage La Nuit, which means it has more amped up cardamom. It is spicier. La Nuit de l'Homme has always been my number 1 date fragrance, but this formulation in particular works exceptionally well in the winter. It's cozy, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's sexy. It will force your partner closer without you having to do anything. Still to this day, La Nuit has given me my most insane, unsolicited compliments where people had to stop me and be like, dude, don't go anywhere, what are you wearing? I do have it on number 3 though because it's La Nuit. It gets talked about way too much. A lot of people are gonna have it in their collection, but they should because it's a banger. Number 3, La Nuit. At number 2 on this list is Dior Homme Parfum. So I'll start by saying that this is the best performing designer fragrance in my collection. 6 hours of projection, 14 to 16 hours of longevity on my skin, insanity. What makes this different from the original Dior Homme is the intensification of it, but also the addition of leather. A lot of people will complain about Dior Homme and more importantly Dior Homme Intense because of its heavy-handed use of iris. It literally smells like a lipstick thing, stick of lipstick. There's also an added gourmand quality in those fragrances. Lipstick and chocolate, not very masculine. But you take those 2 notes and add a leather jacket, now we're getting somewhere. It's still not an overly macho fragrance. There is a little bit of sensitivity to it. Gay! But in the wintertime especially, almost exclusively, this is a Dior Homme flanker that almost any guy can wear and wear confidently. But even this banger of a fragrance is not my number 1. At number 2, Dior Homme Parfum. As we're getting to the number 1 entry on this list, guys, if you're enjoying this content and you haven't subscribed yet, consider it. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell because I put out 3 videos a week every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. So my number 1 winter fragrance for the designer category, it also happens to be my signature scent for the winter time. It's juice that I can reach for, and I know I'm gonna get complimented, I know I'm gonna enjoy it throughout the day, and I know it's gonna last. My number 1 winter fragrance on this list is none other than Amen by Mugler. The original Amen. Beautiful patchouli, a lovely berry-like coffee dry down. Amen is on another level. One of my favorite dry downs in fragrances. This has incredible performance still to this day. Modern formulation, believe it or not. Thierry Mugler made a masterpiece with this fragrance. It was so awesome that it spawned 10 plus flankers that still sell a lot to this day. Say what you will about the tar-like opening. If you don't believe that it's a compliment monster, don't believe me. I don't care. I'm gonna wear it and get my compliments and get my ego boosted. You can just chill out with your Luna Rossa Carbon and be basic. Whatever.
Oh, hell no.
But without a doubt, my number 1 designer winter fragrance has got to be Amen. Honorable mention to Pure Malt, by the way. Just missed the list. Before you click away from this video, guys, please let me know what your favorite designer fragrance is for the winter in the comments below. After all, here's the disclaimer, guys. This list isn't gospel, okay? It's not serious. It's just my opinion, right? get your own. If you want to check out even more top 10s, you can click right here. And there's some other content here and a subscribe button down there, in case you didn't know.